Greetings, race fans and motorsports enthusiasts around the world. My name is Andrew Kim, and this is Retro Motor Vibes, where I highlight anniversary stories and break down motorsports events near and far. For today's audio episode, here's a full breakdown of the 2026 Jack Links 500 at Talladega Superspeedway, a 2.660-mile tri-oval superspeedway venue in Lincoln, Alabama, that was won by Carson Hocevar and Spire Motorsports on Sunday, April 26th. Without further ado, let's break the event down. The event's starting lineup was initially going to be determined through a two-round single-car qualifying session on Saturday, April 25th, where in the session, all entered competitors would post a single qualifying lap individually during the first round, and the top 10 fastest qualifiers would transfer to the second and final round and post a single lap individually to contend for the pole position. Saturday's session, however, was canceled due to rain, and the lineup was determined through a qualifying metric formula that evolved evaluating the entries' most recent race result and current ranking in the owner's standings. Based on this formula, Tyler Reddick, the current points leader and winner of 5 of the first 9 races, including last weekend at Kansas Speedway, was awarded the pole position. He shared the front row with Kyle Larson. The event's first stage period spanned through the event's first 98 laps and featured 17 lead changes for a total of 10 different leaders. In addition, there were no cautions that flew. The competitor who led the most laps during this stage was Denny Hamlin at 27. In the end, Ryan Preece cycled his way to win the first stage of this season. The event's second stage period spanned 40 laps from lap 104 to 143. In this stage period, there were 13 lead changes that occurred as 5 different leaders led at least a lap. There were also 2 occurrences of cautions, with the first being from laps 116 to 121, and which involved a 26-car pileup in turn 3 that started when the leader Bubba Wallace got bumped by Ross Chastain and turned in the middle of the pack as nearly the entire field wrecked along with him in turn 3. Then from laps 125 to 129, Ty Gibbs, who was trying to rally from being involved in the pileup, blew a right front tire and wrecked with Michael McDowell in turn 3 and 4. The competitor who led the most laps during this stage period was Ross Chastain at 20, and amid a late duel with Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain proceeded to win the second stage period. The event's third and final stage period spanned 39 laps from laps 150 to 188. In this stage period, there were 15 lead changes as a total of 2 competitors led overall. In this stage period, there were 2 occurrences of cautions, the first from laps 162 to 166 due to debris on course that came off of Tyler Reddick's entry when he blew a right front tire. Then from laps 183 to 185, Eric Jones, who was racing at the front in the closing laps, got bumped by Carson Hocevar and spun and stalled on the front stretch. The competitor who led the most laps in this stage period was Chris Buescher at 20, but in the end, Carson Hocevar, who led 19 laps, prevailed. Hocevar had spent the final stage period dueling with Chris Buescher for the lead, and then during a 3-lap shootout, capitalized from a push from Alex Bowman on the final lap to overtake him with the finish in sight and score his very first career victory in the NASCAR Cup Series division. With the victory, Carson Hocevar, a 23-year-old native of Portage, Michigan, and a former Truck Series race winner, became the 208th competitor overall to win in the NASCAR Cup Series division. Having won in his 91st series start, he also became the second first-time winner of the 2026 season, along with Ty Gibbs, and became the 13th competitor overall to record a first Cup career victory at Talladega. The victory was also the second ever for his team, Spire Motorsports, and the second of this season for Chevrolet. Overall, the 2026 Jack Links 500 at Talladega Superspeedway featured 52 lead changes for a total of 16 different leaders and a total of 6 cautions for 30 laps. Here are the full race results of the 2026 Jack Links 500, where amid the late chaos, only 21 of 40 starters finished on the lead lap. Next, here is the point standings following the 2026 Jack Links 500, where Tyler Reddick, who finished 14th at Talladega, continues to lead the points by 110 over Denny Hamlin. In addition, Carson Hocevar is now ranked in 8th place in the standings and trailing 1 points position shy of the competitor he beat at Talladega, Chris Buescher. Carson Hocevar's Cup victory on Sunday capped off a triple-header weekend of racing at Talladega Superspeedway, all of which were highlighted by first-time race winners. Earlier on Saturday, Andy Jankowiak won his first ever ARCA Menards Series event at Talladega after he executed a 3-wide pass for the win on the final lap. Later on Saturday, Corey Day, a development competitor for Hendrick Motorsports, executed a final lap pass and fended off the field on the final lap to achieve his first ever NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series career victory at Talladega. Looking ahead, the NASCAR Cup and O'Reilly Auto Parts Series divisions reunite with the Craftsman Truck Series division for a triple-header weekend of racing at Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth, Texas. Beginning next Friday, May 1st, the Truck Series races the SpeedyCash.com 250 at Texas at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on FS1, NASCAR Racing Network, and SiriusXM. Next Saturday, May 2nd, the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series races the Andes Frozen Custard 340 at Texas at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the CW Network, PRN Radio, and SiriusXM. Lastly, the Cup Series races the Worth 400 at Texas next Sunday, May 3rd at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on FS1, PRN Radio, SiriusXM, and HBO Max. That's all for this episode. Have a great rest of your day and see you on the next episode of Retro Motor Vibes.